that which is arising, that which arises in our ground of experience is ours to experience. So no matter what the conditions are, there is something to be practiced. There is grist for the mill, as one of my teachers used to say. Heat, humidity, like I'm standing in now, in long pants, is good for some. It's easier to release in warm, wet weather. Think about the way that timber behaves in different weathers. Like the door frame, like a timber door frame, when it's hot, everything releases and your door falls out of the frame. When it's cold, everything tightens up and you can't move the door because it gets bound up in the contraction of the timber. So warm, humid weather, good for song. Cold weather, you could fall into the error of thinking, oh, well, then it's cold, I can't release. Well, how about it's cold and I can sharpen the mind? Cold weather brings you in, like everything comes in, it becomes sharp, bright. So in the cold, it's easier to cultivate this quality of brightness and clarity in the mind. These are just examples that are coming into my head now. Whatever the conditions of your environment are, use it. So don't fall into the error of thinking I'm too busy. The kids, work, this, that, I know. I've lived a life, I know. But all of these things give you something to look at. If it wasn't for the abrasion, if it wasn't for that, then what would you be looking at? Nothing would fall on anything. You would have no relativity, you would see nothing. The duality of life, the yin and yang of life, gives birth to existence. You exist because of it. You exist because of it. You exist because of those differentials and because of those connections, those partnerships. So when we interact, we move through life, we cause vibration, that very friction, movement through air, that differential makes you know that you are alive. And then you can observe what is in my ground of experience. And what can you do within your ground of experience? You can cultivate release, letting go. But you can also cultivate, it's not absolute, but you can cultivate positive traits, positive action, positive speech. Be loving, be kind to yourself, be loving and kind to others. How many times have we heard this? We know that this is the right thing to do. But when you train TaiChi, you train Qigong, you train internal practice, you train meditation, it brings you into conscious awareness so that you're aware of what's happening around you. Not so that you can just feel more tortured by life, or even so that you can feel more of the beauty, which is wonderful, of course, but so that you can see it, know it, release it. See it, know it, release it, abide. This is a path to more happiness and less suffering. I can only talk about as far as I've come. Enjoy.